Good afternoon. It is Wednesday, July 22nd, 12 o'clock on the East Coast, and that means another Hardison's tip for all of us that are in the industry. So if you happen to be a salesperson that's trying to get to that next level, I hope there's some managers out there because many times you're standing in your own way. Sure, you know how to pencil a deal, but you're dealing with human capital. These salespeople are human. How can you get them to their next level? And I guarantee you it'll get to your paycheck. So we are honored today to go out of the United States to our neighbors to the north. And for some of us who remember the War of 1812, that bogus little war, we burned York,
Yeah,
and then they came back and they burned Washington, D.C. Well, what wasn't a pretty sight.
was a
So
little bit
we
of a
have
mess.
little bit of a mess. But we have a outstanding gentleman who's been doing some tremendous things up in that area named Everold Reid, and we're glad he gave up a little bit of time to be with us. So I'm going to allow him to do a 30,000 foot just quick about what he does, and then I'll present a question. So, hey, Mr. Reid, tell us who you are and what you're about.
Well, absolutely. Everold Reid of the Reid Method International is my company. My book is The Reid Method, a blueprint for achieving sales mastery. And so I'm in the Toronto area. I'm a sales trainer. I work with the dealership still, believe it or not. I just left the Lexus store to come here to join you guys on the show. And but I've been doing pretty well in the industry, and to the point where I have created my own set of courses based on what I believe is the pathway to ultimate sales and business success in the automotive space and beyond, which affords me the time to not only deliver a bunch of cars, but also to travel and coach and speak and train. And not much traveling right now, so here we are here doing this stuff.
There you go. There you go. We got it.
Yeah.
So let's get right to it. We had a conversation earlier in the week, and I told you here in the States, there are some of our family members, and I consider everybody in the automotive industry a family member, whether they happen to be a OEM or just an independent. But
Mhm.
some of our family members are actually telling guests that come in that, yes, we'll do that for something like 84 months, 96 months, and people are signing up. I mean, I don't know what they do in Canada, but just
Huge
from the
mistake.
raw point, do you see a problem with some of that?
A massive problem. It is not even, in this day and age, it's not even the beginning of anything fundamental. It's not even the right thing to do, frankly. If you're going to put anybody into a 7, 8, 9 year finance, that is just nonsense. You know, if your dealership is structured properly, and structure has a lot to do with training, which is why we're here right now. If your sales management team and your sales team is equipped and trained properly to articulate the benefits of leasing, you're not going to be selling one car every 8 years. You're going to be doing 4 every 8 years if you properly structure the deal the first time and show people the ultimate benefits. And I'm not talking 2-year leases. I'm talking you can still do 3 and 4 year leases, but upgrade these clients in 2 to 3 years and have 3 deals in 6 years or 4 in 8 years instead of this one-off mentality. The lowest payment, folks, and the lowest price is not the best deal.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Price and payments and low payments doesn't mean you're giving the client a good deal, because you're not structuring the deal properly to set them up for the future, to give them options. And the best deals, when I structure deals today, I know in 2.5 years, 3 years, I can sell them another car.
There you go.
It's already been established. And my clients and become conditioned to now expect new cars every 2 to 3 years, which is what they actually want, folks. They don't want to be driving the same car for 6, 7, 8, 9 years anyways. So why are you going down this path?
No, I'm totally with you with that. Now, uh, we can always talk about processes in any business, any industry, any social organization. Process. But when it comes to this, if a customer says during that needs analysis that here's what they're trying to achieve, seem like any good rookie would still try to find a boss before I grab a set of keys and say, well, boss, you know what? Mr. Reid said he wanted 94 months, and here's why. Do you find salespeople trying to look at what we do as a team solution selling? I don't have to be Superman.
Yeah.
You use some team members.
Yeah. The team needs to be utilized more, but sometimes the team leaders are not even able to help the teammates, so to
Uh-oh.
speak.
Uh-oh.
Right.
You didn't say that, did you?
Well, I'm a blunt guy, so I've been at this for 30 years, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. If you know, right from the top, the philosophy runs from leadership, ownership, right through, and it's the quality of people. And whether you're at a certain level or not, you can be trained, you can get better, you can learn how to offer more alternatives and value-laden solutions for clients. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution for every client. It just is not. And most dealerships have survived for decades with a one way of approaching things. And they constantly have to chase the new traffic to get them through the door, when at the same time, half the people are leaving through the back door. There's no focus on a system. And getting a deal today and blowing your brains out this month and saying I hit my target or I exceeded my target doesn't set you up for success next July or the July after. It's just not the way it works anymore. So you have to set clients up from the very beginning in the right solution for them. And the sales managers and sales teams that are equipped and educated to articulate the features and benefits of whether it's a lease, whether it's a finance. Not everybody can lease. I understand that. Whether it's a finance, but more people can lease more than you think. Most salespeople and sales management teams just don't know how to articulate the benefits and the structure of leases. Believe me when I tell you, when I sit down with many clients every day, and I still do this, folks. So when I'm coming to you from the perspective of a sales trainer, I'm also still selling cars. I delivered 21 cars last month, and I only worked 14 days. Beautiful. So I'm telling you what I'm practicing. I'm not just a sales trainer retired who wrote a couple of books and, is saying that I know stuff. I'm doing it right now. There's a big difference in doing it.
Doing it. No, I thank you for that. Now, while you were talking, here's one thing that comes up, and I always get on my finance managers, business managers. I keep telling them that you're a manager too.
Yes.
When was the last time you had a meeting with your sales team members and explained the nuances, positive, negative, with a lease, so at least they can be better equipped? Because sometimes, like you said, the desk managers may not even have that on their radar. Do they do that up in Canada, or as a finance manager, would that be something?
Absolutely. Even me, who is a seasoned guy, sometimes sometimes I structure a deal because I'm always overly creative with the way I'm doing things, and they'll catch where I have my residual is off by 1%, or with loyalty, the rate's off by 0.5%. So we in some of our manufacturers like Lexus, Toyota, Acura, BMW, Mercedes, like depends on the manufacturer and the dealership. The sales team has different levels of education or experience in the automotive space. We are able to go in depth into how leasing works better, why you should consider it versus a long-term finance or even a short-term finance, why you should lease instead of paying cash. Like we live, our dealership is in Oakville, Ontario, Canada, if you look it up, per capita in the world has one of the highest income per capitas in North America anyways, right?
Really?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
It's a very well-to-do place where people come in every day and want to pay cash. And we say, hang on a second. Now, I'll tell you, in most dealerships, the sales rep would say, okay, we'll negotiate and do a cash deal because the client says, I'm paying cash. In other dealerships where the sales rep right up front is a little bit more, experienced with the alternatives, will say, hang on a second, why are you thinking of paying cash? Have you thought about leasing? And they'll say, no, we don't want to lease. We don't want payments. We'll just pay cash.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But you'll still go back and say, well, have you thought of the benefits of leasing? Let me show you how you can have the best of both worlds.
There you go.
By keeping your cash, which is more secure with you than putting it into a car, which if it gets into an accident, it's going to depreciate like a rock, right? It's going to have a Carfax claim on it, and it's going to be worth a lot less money. Now, how do you feel about buying that $50,000 car right now with that cash?
Yeah.
What if I can show you 1 or 2% and show you, in some cases, we can show them how to get 0%. So to make the cash purchase and the lease purchase actually very similar.
I'm glad you shared that, because what I try to tell my team members that I work with is that they're going to buy a car. It's who they're going to buy it from. And the person that can have value with knowledge and show them, you're still going to make the decision, but here's just an option maybe you haven't considered.
Yes.
Your stock goes up immensely.
Huge.
Yes.
Huge.
And just wanted to let you know, you got a great person like yourself up there in Canada. He's from Louisiana, a place called Alexandria, Louisiana, which most people haven't heard of. He's at Walker Honda, but he says hi out to you up there in Canada.
Well, I say hi right back, my friend.
But his name's Lamar Holmes. But here's what I wanted to get to, because I know we only have a few minutes here. Speaking of what we all in the world are going through right now, how has it been in Canada with the impact of the virus? A lot of dealerships had to make some changes, or?
Certainly, we have to make changes. I mean, here is as of today, there's a new law. There's my Lexus mask, if you can see it. Okay, so we have to wear the mask. Once you step out of your office into the public space where there's more people, you have to wear the mask and definitely maintain the distancing. And with test drives, it's 1 person, maybe 2, but if you're in the vehicle, all have to have masks, and we're sanitizing the vehicles. We're actually keeping the showroom vehicles closed, and they're sanitized between clients.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a pretty rigorous process, but it's a necessary process. We strictly just focus on what the science says and what the doctors say, and we just leave it at that.
Okay, good. What percentage in Canada that you know about are actively trying to work with the guests, because on their website they have a way, if you don't want to come into the dealership, we can go the whole deal. We'll deliver you the vehicle. Same way with service. We'll pick up your vehicle, leave you a loaner, get it back. Is that a big thing that's going on, or do you find dealers just not prepared? They got hit in the dark and they don't know what to do.
Well, some have made the pivot pretty good to remote test drives or delivering the vehicles home. But we initially, right from late March and all through April, when we were closed, we were physically closed. For the sales department was physically closed for about 6-7 weeks. We still fielded the sales calls. We still fielded the electronic leads, and we still provided quotes, and we still closed deals over the internet and the phone and by sending documents. And we mostly delivered everything once we reopened, but we still sold the cars. So we were basically adopting on the fly, and following, because we get chat leads anyways, right? You
Yeah.
get phone calls and leads anyways. So what difference does it make if you're delivering the car? You're just piling up the sales, right? Sure, they can come in and test drive the car during the time that we were closed and we weren't bringing them cars. But now that we are reopened, we quickly delivered those vehicles and people appreciated. We found that most people appreciated the process, that we were actually not just putting the sale above healthcare.
Mm-hmm. Very, 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 very good. The next to the last thing, because we're almost out of time here with that. We at Jim Ellis Automotive Group, we're going to have a great month.
Yes.
We were one of the first in the Southeast 5 years ago to already have the selling online.
Yes.
So when this COVID hit, we were just operating the way we normally would.
Exactly.
But what we're experiencing in the United States is a whole lot of dealerships that can't keep their place sanitized.
Yeah.
Employee gets something, consumer confidence goes down because we don't know if you're going to be open or closed or open. And we're picking up additional business from people that have given up on that hometown dealership that they used to do. Do you find some of that happening in Canada, that some operators just can't stay in business?
No, because the regulations here are a little bit more, they're not really up to question. Once we trust the leadership that if the government says, okay, we're mandating mask, we're mandating no test drives, or we're mandating this policy, pretty much everybody adheres to it, right?
Okay.
Because it's in the interest of us all, and we see it in the results. We see it, which is why we've been able to reopen. Right. And we've been able to go back now to stage 3 in most places. So we typically don't question that, and they will have regulators out if you don't follow those rules, because it's not about you as much, wearing the mask or taking the set. If you want to go out and get yourself sick, that's one thing, but you don't have the right to get other people sick.
Outstanding. No, I like that. I like that. Now, I know you said that you were working on a couple of things, pet projects. Can you expand on one? Because I think one dealt with leasing or something, didn't it?
Yes. So there are two main things that I do. The one is sales mindset principles, and I fundamentally believe before any dealership, and I think one of the things we started this conversation was about is really the mindset of sales teams, managers, owners, sales reps. If they're not in the right place in their mind about their true capabilities and what the potential really is, they would never truly realize. Doesn't matter what technology you add, what you implement, what processes, the people themselves, the human being, has to be trained or have to be able to realize their own capabilities, that they can do much better than they currently are. And then once that course, I offer that course, it talks about also 9 principles or 10. Then I've developed the lease performance blueprint, and the lease performance blueprint is for dealerships like the ones you mentioned that are leasing, that are financing, people for 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Right.
That literally transforms these organizations, because we show you how not just to lease the car today, but how to set up your second, third, fourth deal. Then you're going to get 2, 3, 4 more trades. There's more parts business, more F&I business, more CPO business. Like it's multi-millions of dollars in 3 years. And I've literally built out this formula that shows what happens when you lease just 10% more than you're currently doing.
Excellent. Now, how long have you been thinking on this project before you released it?
I was actually doing this. I was drawn out of my chair. I was at the Lexus dealer selling cars, and because of the systems that I had implemented there, other Lexus dealers and Toyota dealers were calling me and saying, "Hey, we hear you're the guy. Can you come out and teach us how to do it?"
Outstanding.
So that's what I did, and then it evolved from being in person to online as well.
Oh, well, if someone wants to hear more, how can they hear about you? You got
LinkedIn.
email?
Yeah, so definitely on LinkedIn. I respond to my messages. I get messages every day. So Everold Reid on LinkedIn, or the Reid Method on LinkedIn. We connected here on Messenger on Facebook. So there's an Everold Reid and a link and a Reid Method page, and Everold at thereidmethod.com. Everold at thereidmethod.com, and my website, thereidmethod.com. So you can't miss me.
Well, before we let you go, Everett, I know some of the people that are out listening saying, "Boy, good information," but he's in Canada. Could you tell him where you're from?
Well, I'm Jamaican born, South Manchester, went to Wolmer's Boys School in Kingston, the oldest school in the entire Eastern Caribbean.
Ah,
And yes, it is. It's almost 300 years old. And yeah, I've been in Canada now for 34, 35 years.
okay.
But I've traveled extensively across the US, all across North America and the Caribbean, doing my training and my seminars. So I'm ready when you guys are. If you want to transform your dealerships and transform your sales teams into realizing ultimate success, that you're not chasing clients every day and wondering where your new client is coming from or the deals are coming from, I can show you how to do that.
Beautiful. Well, I want to thank you, Everett, for giving up your lunchtime. But like I said, I know my students are, a couple of them are out the door. They're looking in, wondering what's going on. But we
Yes.
do thank you for your time. And hey, be safe, stay healthy up there, and keep rocking and rolling. And folks, once again, you need to check out this leasing. I don't know if you caught some of the things he was saying, but the one thing that perked my ears up was CPO. Oh man, I can get me another CPO vehicle. I'm with you with that.
All
But
right.
thank you for being with us today.
It was fun. Thank you. We should do this again sometime soon.
Yeah, let's do it again.
All right.
And to everybody else, Brandon Hardison with another Hardison's tip. As always, in parting, you go out and make it a champion day.
All right. Thank you, sir. Take
All right.
care.